The Lord has been speaking to me about the spiritually narrow path we find ourselves on. He told me that the peoples of this world, they don't walk along this path, they walk on a broad path that leads to a broad gate. And Christians that believe in their heart and confess with their mouth Jesus is Lord and practice sin, which is iniquity, they're on a broad path that leads to a broad gate. Satan and the demons believe and confess. Satan believes in Jesus. He doesn't believe on him, otherwise he would worship him, but he believes in him. And the demons confess Christ. When Jesus was going to cast one out, the demon, speaking through the mouth of the possessed, said, "We know who you are, the Holy One of Israel." So it's not enough just to believe and confess. Those that are on the spiritually narrow path believe, and because they believe, they follow Christ. They're followers of Jesus. The Lord told me that as we walk down the spiritually narrow path, we're going to find all kinds of distractions, all kinds of things that want to vie for our attention. If we look to the left, we're going to see the things of this world, the pride of life and the deceitfulness of wealth. Because it's written, the love of this world is enmity with God, and pride cometh before destruction. And you can't serve two masters. You love the one and you hate the other. You can't serve God and money. And if we continue to look to the left and we don't repent, we're going to fall off the path. And it's a terrible fall. You fall through smoke and into fire where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. Repent. If you look to the right, you're going to see a beautiful angel, like an angel of light, and it's going to offer you the pleasures of sin. And if you're walking in the flesh and not in the spirit, you're going to veer off to the right, and you're going to be snared in sin. And if you don't repent, because you've known God, you've known his mercy and his love for you, and you know the high price he paid for your salvation, you're going to fall into iniquity. God will judge you. There's another place you can look, and it's a dangerous place to look, and that's behind you at the things that follow a follower of Christ. The signs and the wonders, the supernatural, they're of God, but they have their place. They can be a stumbling block to us. There's no way you can walk down the path looking over your shoulder at the things that follow a follower of Christ. The Apostle Paul worked in the supernatural. These things were manifest in his life, but he concluded that all he cared about was Christ and him crucified. Some people rather see an angel than see the face of Christ. Some would rather see a pillar of cloud than repent of their sins. The only way to walk down the spiritually narrow path is to keep your eyes on the one that walked down that path before you did. And that person is a king. He is our high priest. He has an exalted place in the kingdom of heaven, even sitting at the right hand of the Father. He's a judge and a bridegroom, and he possesses a name above every other name, Jesus the Christ. If you want to be a follower of Jesus, then keep your eyes exclusively on him. The Lord tells us anyone that would come after him would have to deny themselves, take up their cross, and follow him. Have you denied yourself? Do you deny yourself the things of the world? Or are you a prosperity gospel believer? That is not the gospel. That is a false gospel. Do you have pride? You have to search your heart, because these things hide deep within the soul. And you may think you don't have this problem, but maybe you do. Do you love money, or do you hate it? I mean, we have a need for it, but do you love it? Be careful. And what about sin? Do you deny yourself sin? Do you have a cross on your back? Do you feel the weight of it? If you feel the weight, it's not the cross of Christ, because he said, "My burden is light." It's probably the cares of this world, or sin. You know the parable about the cares of this world. It chokes the good plant so that it doesn't bear fruit. We have to get these things off our back. We're only called to carry the cross. If we want to enter in, we're going to have to walk down a spiritually narrow path. It's very narrow. And the gate is narrow as well, and few there be that find it. It's hard to enter into the kingdom because we want to do it on our terms. We want to invent our own kind of Jesus. We want our own kind of gospel. But if we're serious about God, if we're serious about entering into the kingdom, then let's just do it his way. Let's trust what he's taught us. Let's keep our eyes on Jesus. I hope this has been a blessing to you. I love you guys, and may Jesus bless you.